This is Kathy Biehl of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro-Insight for the week of January 13th. Doors are slamming behind us and bolting shut. Eras are ending permanently. Don't you have the sensation of at least one major situation in your life, one ongoing issue that is evolving into another set of circumstances? For some people, it's as if a log jam has loosened or blocks of ice in a river are opening up and starting to move. Some of us have had a profound experience of emotion and loss. A lot of us have been going head first into comfort food, and a lot of people have a sensation of being orphaned and a realization that they have to be the one to step into their own authority. The reality-altering conjunction of Saturn and Pluto has just happened, and the ramifications of that will be unfolding through November. The very first phase of it challenges us to take responsibility for ourselves, to commit to ourselves. And this fits the tagline that I have given to 2020, suiting up and showing up. Take yourself seriously, commit to yourself, take responsibility for yourself, be an adult. Boring, 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 and it will ground you and keep you sane no matter what is going on elsewhere in the world and no matter how loud the clanging is of doors behind you. The energy does soften a bit this week, and we have multiple opportunities for breakthroughs in those log jams and in the way we've been thinking about things and in hearts and money, and multiple opportunities to see things differently. The general vibe moves into something gentle and dreamy and maybe a bit escapist, so it's possible that the attraction of comfort food will just blossom into binge watching, going headfirst into chocolate or a bottle of wine or four. It's possible. Or moving off into fantasy land of some sort. Venus, the goddess of all we value, love, money, creativity, is moving into her most elevated abode, Pisces. Here she is in love, with mysticism, with poetry, with spirituality. This is the territory of fairies and mermaids and Disney princesses. She'll be in this gentle escapist mode for about a month, and this will encourage all of us to treat ourselves, to treat life, to treat other people with kindness, or more kindness and more gentleness. It will open us to the possibility of actually experiencing God in the eyes of your pet, in the eyes of your friends, in the eyes of the cashier at the grocery store. Venus in Pisces reminds us of how we are all interconnected, and she does make us more aware of those who are less fortunate, those who are suffering, those who are persecuted, or the underdog. Her first act when she changes is actually something that every planet does these days, and that is have a link to Uranus, the change maker in the zodiac. Uranus is the first outer planet that everybody meets. He is just stationed direct at 2 degrees Taurus, and he's going to stay in the early degrees of Taurus for some time, which means that every time a planet changes signs, it makes a contact to him and dislodges his lightning bolts in some way. Venus is in an opportunity aspect to him on the 15th. A doorway is open to do something differently in a relationship. A doorway is open to love, not necessarily romantic. Don't pin your hopes on that. A doorway is open to creativity. A doorway is open to magic and possibly even a financial matter. The thing about doorways is they don't move. They're stationary. You have to go through them. And this one will cause you to look at things differently, think about things differently. So be on the prowl for a breakout, a breakthrough, an epiphany, and grab it when it shows up. Right after Venus makes this move, our minds and our communication mode move out of the heavy, earthbound, goal-oriented Capricorn energy and into much more objective, detached, intellectual territory. Mercury, the messenger god, moves into the sign of Aquarius on the 16th. He'll stay there until the beginning of February. Mercury in Aquarius inclines us toward treating life like Mr. Spock. Fascinating. This is observer mode. This is the ability to think and talk about things without getting emotionally embroiled in them. A paradoxical and perhaps useful counterpart to Venus being off in lovey-dovey land, looking at everything in the best possible light. And what's the first thing that Mercury does after he changes signs? He has a contact with Uranus. Uranus rules the sign of Aquarius. So he has the upper hand in this situation. He's got command over Mercury. They have a natural affinity because each of them rules an aspect of the mind. Mercury rules our kind of normal, everyday mind. Uranus is the higher, more genius mind. And on the 18th, they are making an aspect that demands action. Our thoughts, our minds, our information, messages, communication are demanding action from the agent of unpredictable change, the advocate of alternate viewpoints. So, something you're thinking could suddenly tilt sideways. You could get information that changes an equation drastically, suddenly, startlingly, perhaps shockingly. This event is another blast of the logjam, but the logjam this time has to do with your thinking, your information, the assumptions that you're making about a situation. This aspect is a formula for an unexpected conversation that clears the air. Maybe not comfortable, but probably valuable. Venus is in a really cozy relationship with Uranus at this point, so take a chance. Speak your heart. Open your ears. Open your mind. Open your heart. Because you are in control of yourself. Homing thought of the week. You're not the boss of me. I'm the boss of me. Song of the week. Everything's Magic by Angels and Airwaves. And the image of the week is Archimedes in the bathtub saying, Eureka! You'll find lots more about this in my forecast for the Cancer full moon lunar eclipse and for the month of January, both of which are up at my site, empowermentunlimited.net, where you can sign up for my mailing list, book a session with me, and help yourself to a bunch of resources for 2020. My 2020 guide is in the throes of being finished as I record this, and it will be delivered by the 11th or 12th. And it has lots of information about the really heavy aspects that we have just gone through. There's lots of bonus content at patreon.com/Kathy Biehl. You'll also find me on Facebook at Empowerment Unlimited in the group The Astro-Insight Lounge, on Instagram at @KABiehl, and on YouTube at The Professional Aquarian Channel. Talk to you next week.